Hi guys, it's Michaela. I did a project on water resources in Somalia and Sudan. So I'll just start with summarizing some of the YouTubes. This first one right here is about a woman who's struggling to provide her family water, and it talks about how her children will go days without cleaning their clothes, or their animals will go thirsty because they don't have enough water. And it's really just sad because it's a personal story, and you can see how these people are suffering without proper water in their lives. And it's just like a personal example. This next one is about the Somalia drought crisis in 2011. So in 2011, there was a huge drought in Somalia, and it was a huge problem because there wasn't a lot of water, which led to a decrease in food. So not only did they not have clean water supplies, but they didn't have food. So it was, again, really hard for all the families to survive, especially big neighborhoods and communities. As you can see, even in this picture, without playing the video, all the children don't look really happy, and you can tell like the poverty is just really affecting them, and the water, they all look thirsty and they're very thin. Um, this next one is actually more of a happier video. It's talking about the drought again, and the suffering that the people go through daily, yet it's a solution more. So this company promotes water distribution throughout Somalia and other African countries as well. But they just talk about, even if you want to help another country and give them water, you have to drill drills into the ground, and they're just really hard to do. And they are just a really hard resource to find and to install. So that video pretty much summarizes this first and second one. It's again more examples in drilling in Sudan, drilling the wells that they need to get water. This third video again is a more personal story with families and how the water drought and all the water problems have affected them personally. As well as this one right here. This one actually talks about a man who's now about 25 to 30, and he's talking about when he went back to Sudan after he had gone to the U.S., and he just saw the differences in water and culture, and it was just a huge difference. So now I'm going to talk about Sudan a little bit. 80% of the country works in agriculture, which accounts for 97% of its water. I think that this is a really important statistic because it just shows you how much water they're using for not only drinking purposes and showering, but also agriculture. Like, that's a huge amount that's um, just being used. And even if the women and the families do need to get water, they have to devote most of the time in their day just to get the water, and they risk their health and safety by going to the trips because these can be really long and dangerous trips. I mean, they're going miles. They're walking the whole day just to get small cans of water or buckets, and it's really strange to think about because we're just so not used to this idea in America, especially when it's so easy to turn on a faucet. Um, and then some of these facts just talk about different terms and diseases. For example, the water stress is referred to a situation where political or economic problems occur because of a lack of water. So Sudan has a huge occurrence of water stress because since the pressure for getting water is so strong and so difficult, there's become a lot of corrupt ideas and politics and ideas over this water that's so desperately needed. And a lot of diseases can come from the water that they do have, the little bits, such as dracunculiasis and guinea worm disease, which again is just another dangerous thing. Now, going into Somalia, only 30% of Somalis have access to safe water, and 20% in the worst affected areas of the south. So, this is just another statistic that proves how desperate these people are in need to get water. In Somalia, one of the causes for this is because of its extremely low rainfall. Um, but the government is working on it and they are spending money, but it's just difficult when they have a small amount of money to spend on it. So right about here are a bunch of facts that I got from the World Factbook that just explain the percentages of water problems in Sudan and Somalia. And it just shows like the desperation that they need for water and how moving from urban areas to other areas of the country really affect their water supplies. Especially in Sudan, the terrain is very flat and there's a lot of desert in the north. Um, and then here in Somalia, it's a difference because there's kind of different seasons. So there's deserts and then there can be monsoons in the northeast. So it's just a huge climate change, which really impacts them. And they are on the crisis of prolonged humanitarianism, and it's just a huge problem. So here are some of the pictures. This is the flag and the children. And then this is a view from outer space. Like you can see the water around it. And then this is just a geographical like picture. Then here for Sudan, I just added a few more pictures. And these are the women carrying the water jugs to different places, and it just shows your struggle, and you could see how heavy the water is, and they walk for days just to get small amounts of water like this. So I hope you liked my presentation, and thank you very much for listening.